Hi everyone, this is Bobby from bn-games.com, and we're here doing another basically bullshit show, episode 8, and
you still cannot get over podcast.
Sponsored by Wonderbook. Actually, it's not.
But it could be.
If you want to add Timmy, just ask him if he likes his Wonderbook.
Timmy, why do you hate the Wonderbook so much?
It is a stupid idea.
No, but I get that.
I've been over this 100 times on this already.
I can't put it in my head.
It's a stupid idea.
I get that, but you hate it like that.
I hate it like you hate onions.
I know, I'm okay with
No,
onions.
you loathe onions.
I don't like eating onions, but that doesn't mean I avoid them like the plague. Just, I want to understand your hate for Wonderbook.
If manga were to come out on Wonderbook,
I brought that up the other day too, and he said he would hate it.
Yeah.
you would hate it.
Yes.
What if you can interact with it? You draw the speed lines.
That's what I was like. That sounds like a badass
unnecessary.
Let's be honest, a lot of things are unnecessary.
When I sit down to read manga,
he wants to read manga.
I just want to read. I just want to turn the page when I finish reading.
But you don't want to put up your PlayStation Move controller?
Yeah, that I have to sit 6 inches away from the camera.
You don't.
Oh, yeah, that's why the E3 demo didn't work right.
It's because she was dumb. She was stupid.
No, she was stupid. It was a live demo.
No, why do you think in the second time they showed it, why do you think they didn't do a live demo?
Because they didn't want another stupid person messing up.
Yeah, because the shit don't work right.
Wonderbook, sponsored by.
Sponsored by Timmy.
I mean, look, the card game thing that it had for Eye of Judgment was a novel idea.
Yeah, that was nice. That worked really well.
It worked real well. But this book will not. It will not.
Timmy's being real judgmental.
No, you know, hey, you're the one who brought this shit up, so I don't want to hear that.
I
mean, okay, let's put it another way then. How much do you see anyone using AR cards for their Vita or 3DS?
I don't. I just want to get why. There's dislike, and
you dislike the idea.
Yours is hate.
Okay, well, just think of the one thing in your Power Rangers in any of them that you hate the most. Why do you hate that?
There's nothing really I hate. There's things I dislike.
Bullshit.
Oh, there's things I dislike.
Bullshit.
There's nothing that I hate, like how you mentioned, like, oh my god, no!
Yeah, there is. I know there is. You're not admitting it right now, but there is. There always is something.
No?
Yes, there is.
No, I really don't think so.
Yeah, there is.
Whatever.
Sure
God damn it. Timmy hates Wonderbook for no good reason. Marco wants spandex. End of story.
Timmy also doesn't like Crash Bandicoot.
That's true.
I don't. I didn't say I didn't like Crash Bandicoot. I just said I'm not a fan.
Okay. Well, see, that's still not this. That's still not.
There's a preview of the classic. Well, no, I'm uploading those first before this. So if you haven't, there's a classic capture for Crash Bandicoot 2.
Stupid time delay.
Cortex Strikes Back. That's up.
This is what happens when you don't have a set work schedule. It's like, it's only 2 a.m. No, it's not 2 a.m.
I was like, wait a minute, wow. Time flew. Man, the videos you were watching just took forever.
Yes.
And we've done some region locks. So we did, I finished Crash Bandicoot. I actually did an impromptu playthrough. I figure I had complete footage of the playthrough, so I might as well post that. So that's up in 4 parts. I also completed remote controlled NDSF. That's up completely, and we just did the region lock for that. So that, as a game, is complete as it's going to get. And as I mentioned in that video, we have the most comprehensive coverage of that game on the internet. Period. There's we're top search. There's no other videos that look as good. I'm very proud of that, and I hope to do a couple other games that have that. I'm thinking about doing Tetsujin next, because there's very little on that as well.
Yeah, no, that would be a good one.
Except those epic commercials.
Yeah, no, I mean that would be a really good one to do.
There's not much in the way of news. Not much. PlayStation Vita finally got PlayStation Classics.
Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes.
That's probably the biggest.
That's probably the best. But Timmy hasn't seen it, but he's saying that he doesn't like it because he doesn't like.
Again, you're putting words in my mouth.
You said you have a problem with it because of Revengeance.
That was sarcasm.
Oh, I can't tell anymore, Timmy. You with your hate of Wonderbook.
You need more RAM.
It sounded like we were talking about like fucking Wonderbook Kojima-san edition.
No, I said because I mean I like Metal Gear, but I'm not all that huge into it where I'm desperately awaiting the next game or the next.
Not desperately, but it looks really interesting.
Well, I know, but I mean that's why it's just
it's
like
pretty.
I
don't believe that's on console though.
Apparently it is. Yeah, apparently it is.
Yeah, and the one the Killzone was on the console when they first showed that.
That looked pretty close.
Well, it looked close, but
it wasn't on there.
That demo looked a little way too.
Especially you know it's going to end up being a Vita game.
What?
I don't know.
Hey, that's a Vita game. That's great.
Man,
honestly, I haven't.
Surprisingly,
I haven't read up on it.
Man, when you become this beast of a machine, like
when it got Wonderbook,
it's got dual GPUs.
2 graphics cards.
No, the Wonderbook is good. The tie-in for Sony is instead of dirty magazines that he throws to distract guards, it'll be the Wonderbook.
That would be pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, I can just imagine you're going to be playing the game. You need to have the eyes set up and adjusted just so you can pull that out of whatever you got it stored to throw it. Just so it can not track right, so you can do it 6 times.
This is Kojima-san we're talking about here. Come on. My favorite part of that entire trailer. If you don't know what we're talking about, they showed a trailer for Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes, which shows off the Fox engine. It's a preview of the next Metal Gear Solid game, which is supposed to be, I guess, before Metal Gear Solid, first one, not the NES game, the PS1
It takes place in like about the 70s to 80s, give or take, and from what they've said, it is actually running on current gen, or gonna be coming out in current gen. I gotta say, looking at it, and thinking back to the Killzone demo, I know the Killzone demo still looked a little bit smoother than what we actually got, but what we actually got was pretty close. And they've said that he's been working on this engine for quite some time now and trying to refine it so that he can use it. There's the whole Project Ogre. Everyone was thinking at first that this is what it was. He's gone on record to say that this is not Project Ogre, that's a separate entity altogether. And from what I've read, a lot of people are not going to bother with Revengeance knowing that this is coming out.
I want to play Revengeance after those trailers.
Yeah.
I other than the frame, it looks like crap in the trailers.
Well, that could be because it's running on the dev kit.
Yeah. Well, it also, from what I understand, it's running off of. It's not running off this Fox engine. I think it's
it's running off a different engine.
I think it's MGS4.
He didn't have that much to do with it. He overlooked the project, but it's running on the engine that what's that? Not Bayonetta. No, the Vanquish.
Oh, okay.
It's running off some version of that engine. Vanquish was a great game.
I think I'm gonna play it because I was actually more turned off the first time I saw it, and after that first trailer where you actually see him slicing stuff, and it's like,
I think the newest ones where they actually show how it flows. Is the most impressive. I mean, the watermelon cutting demo was pretty cool in its own right, but actually showing how it flows is
it was nice
cool.
tech.
It was an interesting show off of the ideas and the tech, but actually watching it implemented and watching him be a pretty cool badass was interesting.
That was
PAX.
Those PAX. There wasn't much more that happened at PAX that I know of.
No,
not much
really.
in the way of.
They showed some more stuff for Borderlands. They had a couple of videos online that have been posted for playthroughs, and I have to admit that's looking great.
Yep. That
is, they've addressed a lot of the issues that I had with the first game. They've streamlined it. They're, rather than, and I'm sure there are reskins of it, and I don't care so much. Honestly, you can give me a sequel to it with all the same enemies and I wouldn't care, as long as they fix the things that I hated about the first one. Namely, the minimap is the greatest thing that they've added for me.
The UI is the best.
The UI is nice. I had no problem with the first UI. I'll be honest, I had no issue with it. I thought it worked. I didn't think it was the best UI in the world, but I thought it worked fine for what it was. Especially having played it recently through with Timmy on the PC, I thought it worked okay. I have to admit that the new UI does look a lot cleaner and a lot refined is the word I think I'm looking for. But UI, and the map falls under UI as well. I definitely like how that looks. I think graphically it looks like it's, you know, more of the same, but it still looks really good. I like the fact that they're still sticking with the whole every gun looks unique, which to some degree I'm sure isn't easy to do, but they're pulling it off well enough where every gun looks different enough. So I don't know, I'm very happy with what I've seen for that so far. And all of their confirmations that the story is going to be much longer than the original one was. Because, frankly, I thought the original was actually a bit short. Having burned through it with Timmy in about 22 to 24 hours.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's longer than most shooters, though, if you really think about it.
It is.
I mean, how long is Call of Duty?
No. You know? It is, but I'm just saying, I got a 24-hour experience out of the first one. And them saying, you know, hey, we're going to have a lot more and we're going to have more replay value. That's great.
Most people that I know who played got less than, because I was already a top level character, and I just burned them through it, so they got 8-hour experience maybe?
I'm just wondering if, how soon or if at all they will have modded guns.
You mean like community modded ones? You mean like the glitches?
Yeah, like the glitches.
That's hard to say, because I mean the glitch guns. I mean, well, my favorite part of that game, having multi-element guns. But I don't know. I'm sure that they're embarrassed by that. So they're gonna have. I'm sure they're gonna try to address it as much as possible. But if it's using the same engine, because to me it looks like the same tech, basically. I mean, it's definitely enhanced, but. If it's using something similar, you know, I don't know how that exploit worked. I only know people gave me stuff. I was like, oh, how'd you get that? Oh, there was the copy. You remember the copy thing? Yeah. That's what we did.
I think they were able to go in and change the save and the hex data on that. I don't know how that worked, but I mean, I wasn't bothered by it, but to some degree, I wouldn't want it early on because then I know it would kind of ruin the experience a little bit for me. You know, I want to go through it and actually, you know, have a bit of a challenge. I don't know. I'm the kind of guy that if a game is too easy, or you know, it's easy to breeze through, it turns into a snooze.
Yeah, literally for you.
Literally.
So no, I agree. I think we can mention that. I guess the best video right now we've seen is Giant Bomb one.
Yeah, they're pretty. It was like an hour long. It was 51 minutes.
Yeah, and that answered, I think, most of our questions.
Yeah.
I think the death animation, at first I thought it was really cool, but I was like, man, that took a long time.
Yeah.
If you're dying, can you imagine, like, man, hurry up. I hope you can skip through that.
Yeah, well, you used to be able to hold it.
I don't remember.
You used to be able to hold, I believe it was X or square, depending on whatever system you were playing. And it would do an insta-kill, and then it would just respawn you.
No, I'm talking about that respawn. You know how it does the animation where it rebuilds them and stuff?
Oh, like the actual actually, that's about as long as it was in the first one.
I hope it's a little shorter, or hope you can shorten. I mean, it's nice once in a while, but that can get old when you're doing the bosses.
If you're doing things right, you shouldn't be dying that much anyways.
Well, we don't know that, especially if you're doing hard mode, especially in your second playthrough when they're all badass level 50s.
That's true. I don't know. Maybe you'll be able to skip it with the button, but it's basically the same length as the original animation, from what I can tell.
Biggest surprise? No versus mode.
No, I think they said no Coliseum versus mode.
No competitive versus mode. No, in any way.
They said you can do a duel.
Duel doesn't count. Duel's still there. I'm talking about competitive.
Yeah.
No, they were supposed to have a 12-on-12 when you brought in your guns from the world and stuff.
Ah.
It was supposed to be this entire suite. I'm not saying that's why I wanted to play the game, but it would have been a nice addition. And I'm not complaining. But for those who thought that would be there or wanted it, not happening.
Yeah, I don't think that would work very well, especially coming back to it. You know, cheat guns. would make that no fun because
well, assuming,
but unfortunately, these days, these things are so easy to do.
Yeah.
If they haven't learned, which I'm hoping that they have, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Well, Randy Pitchford, one of the first interviews about Borderlands 2, he was very adamant about that even though he liked that the community was looking to expand the game and they were putting the time into it, he still, I think he took that personally.
Well, at the same time, that they took it as a joke to some degree as well because they did actually add.
Yeah, one of the guns is based off of
that, and they added a whole. I don't know if you never played it after the patches, did you?
After they took the glitch guns away, I was kind of pissed.
Yeah, they added in one of the last patches. They added a whole different weapon type. Like a color system, which was like I believe it was
white?
like
wasn't it white?
Off white,
I read about it.
Super rare.
I played all the DLC except for Claptrap's Nightmare.
You didn't play Mac Moxie's Underdome, right?
Yes, I did. It was terrible.
No, there was one that we were playing and we never beat
General
it.
Knox. We got halfway through.
General Knox.
We got halfway, and I was like, eh.
And there was one more that you didn't do.
Yeah, Claptrap. I've done all the other ones. I did
Well,
Dr.
those two are
Ned.
the ones that added the patch for the white guns.
Mad Moxie, I finished up until the level 50, and we ran into a glitch. Even though we were using standard guns, we ran into a glitch where the monsters wouldn't die, no matter what. And I was playing with 4 people, all level 50s, with proper guns, proper rares, and we couldn't do it. And it wasn't that we weren't trying, we weren't going down very easy. It was just, it was like they had infinite health almost. Some of them anyway. So we never finished that, and I kind of thought that was, I'll be honest with you, that was crap. It was like, when I wanted DLC, I wanted more like Dr. Ned. Dr. Ned was pretty good.
Yeah.
General Knox was, by the time General Knox came out, I didn't care anymore. I was like, I don't want to play the same way. And that's not because of the game's fault, but I had literally played through the game with like 6 different people. Literally, start to fucking finish.
It was Resident Evil 5 syndrome.
Oh my god, you have no idea.
And we're speaking of, that's also coming up.
So Resident Evil 6 demo came out for PlayStation 3 users who... they already had it.
Did they?
Yeah, they had it.
I thought that was available to everyone now.
That won't be until September 28th.
Got it.
But this one is for Dragon's Dogma users. In fact, there's not a lot of demo gameplay even for the 360 one. I'm surprised. Our PS3 one is fairly popular. Leon, I think, is the best part of that demo. Only because I think it shows off the suspenseful parts, and I think they're actually, because I never felt any kind of suspense in 5. Ever. Period.
No, 5 had creepy parts though.
I didn't even think that, to be honest with you. I liked 6 where, like, we go, if you want, like I said, there's a video of it up. Check it out on the channel. But like parts where the lightning was flashing and then the lights went out before the elevator net. I was
and
like,
then when they actually attack you, you feel overpowered.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And when they open the door, and then it was seamless because it was cutscene to gameplay, and I was like, holy shit. It was like, oh crap, I gotta do something now.
Yeah.
And I panicked in the video. You see me like, shit. But the only thing, and I know we mentioned this, although not in the video, they have taken care of those sensitivity issues to some extent. If you are a Twitch shooter, man, default setting is loose. The aiming control is super loose. Even Marco, who Mr. likes to turn it up all the way, had to turn it down.
Yeah, the sensitivity is definitely fast on that.
Not a problem because you can turn it down, but initially you might have some problems.
Yeah, so you might want to play with that a little bit.
Number 2, it's an 800 megabyte demo, and they packed a lot in 800 megabytes.
Yeah, it's 3 separate campaigns.
3 separate campaigns.
With online netcode.
Yep.
And you can play as both characters.
Haven't done the online bit here, but it's because I don't want to play with anyone. I think these are too short.
It's too short, and you don't really want to rely on someone you don't trust.
Yeah, that's more. I mean, I never played 5 with strangers. It was only somebody I knew.
Yeah, you have to have some sort of.
So if you mess up, I can yell at you, and vice versa.
That and even then, we plan to do 6 when it comes out in LAN, rather than online, because a game like that in online is doable, but it's a lot easier to work out when the guy, when we can look at each other's screens and say, "Oh, you're here," or "Hey, look at this. Oh, you meant that." It's a lot easier to work with that. It's less frustrating.
Yeah, not. Is it the circle button where you go, "Come on, come on,
God.
come on"?
Just pound on that. You're like, why isn't this asshole moving? Come on, XX pot 24/7.
And
XX.
who's running around in the circle?
My mommy says I can't play this game. God damn it, we were right at the end.
Come on.
I had that happen once.
Oh really?
I had like some little kid, playing, and then I was like, oh, dude, we're at the end. Come on, hurry up, hurry up. I put my mic on. Dude, hurry up. I have to go. My mom's calling me. Turns the fucking game off. Automatically. Player has left. You have to start from the beginning.
Oh,
Son
man.
of a bitch.
The thing.
And then to make it worse, this was around the time that my Xbox hard drive was acting up.
Oh.
And I think I've told you about this before, where it affected my Resident Evil save. So I had to beat every level within less than an hour, or it would corrupt.
I vaguely remember you telling me, man.
Yeah, if it took a minute over a fucking hour, restart it because it won't save. I had to do some of those levels a couple of times with Jose because of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That doesn't help. Really?
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah. Well, that's a whole other
Yeah.
story. But yeah, some of those were pretty bad. I had to have it. I had to have my timing down. I could not waste a single minute.
You had it worse, but I also had
Adam.
Yeah, Adam was playing it, and that wasn't.
Yeah, I got to deal with that experience for a little bit, and I got annoyed.
That was a test of
Patience.
endurance.
Ah.
Sometimes. And I did it with a couple other people. I think I played with Alex a bit too. I played it a lot. The only mode, you know what? I wanted to go through professional, but I also had the one-hit death problem, where it's like, probably would have said fuck it. I played it through normal, very easy, normal, hard.
I played it through everything.
Was it expert? Or was one before?
It was
professional?
easy, normal, hard, and then professional.
Okay, I remember by hard mode, I had my penis gun.
Yeah.
Which thankfully is in the next one. It's called the elephant gun.
Yeah.
And I just went. By that time, I had the infinite ammo, and it was one shot hit for pretty much everything.
You would have that, and the
Practically.
rocket launcher for everyone else,
Pretty much.
and the shotgun in case they got too close.
I really like the shotgun actually in 5.
Yeah. The triple one.
Yes, yes, that was nice. It plays. I think the thing to really mention is, you're not gonna get first-person shooter, and not even let's even something else because it's third person.
Even Gears of
War.
War.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. It's
Yeah.
not Gears of War. It's not Uncharted level of precision, and they do that on purpose. But it is a hell of a lot less unwieldy. I guess it's not as stiff. You can walk while you aim.
Yeah, that's great.
Which I didn't even notice at first because I'm
Yeah.
just used to doing it. And Tim when Marco played it, because I played it before them, and he was, did you test it? And I go, what do you mean test it? I don't know. I wasn't looking for that. And Timmy's like, oh, you can do it. And I'm like, I forgot. Oh yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I think the stuff that I like the most as far as control change is destroying boxes
Yeah.
and melee.
Melee, destroying boxes, I agree. Two problems I had with it, and I'm hoping one of them at least can be resolved. Well, technically both of them can be resolved. One after I understand it, and the other hopefully if they fix it, or maybe I was wrong. The first one being the quick turn.
Yeah.
So that was something that if you've played
5.
4 or 5, because 4 had it as well. It's something that you need. The ability to, I believe it was
180.
X and down.
Yeah, it was.
And he would do a 180 degree turn,
Yep.
and you would be able to run the opposite way. That's great.
Yep.
I tried it. Unless I did it wrong or they changed the controls, he did not do it.
Yeah.
So that's one problem I have with it. I really hope they didn't take it out.
Yep.
Number 2 is the health system.
Oh, I don't mind that.
I don't mind it. it's confusing to me, and that's why I said that could be one of those things that could be fixed maybe if I understand it better.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
you have herbs and you have pills.
No, the herbs get turned into pills.
That's what I don't understand how that works.
He has a pill compactor. He's a
but
druggie.
I don't not even the mechanics of it. I mean, does it do it by itself? Do you have to push a button? Because I think it said
it automatically does.
One of the commands was hold R2 and square, and you'll make pills.
I don't think. No, it was automatically doing it.
But why did I have herbs left over and I had less pills?
I don't know.
That's the thing that.
Well, you gotta remember
me.
It's a demo. You don't have the instructions.
Yeah,
that's
that's what I said. That's one of those things that I'm really hoping they discuss or explain thoroughly as the game actually releases. I'm actually going to do a little bit of research into that. It's that big of a deal where you need to know how the health system works if you plan to survive in this thing.
The only thing I think I dislike about the entire demo is I don't like that Chris is a little bitch. Like the intro kind of thing, and there might be context, but I don't like his bro thing that he's got with them.
I don't mind that so much. What technically what bothered me was the camera.
For him, yeah, it was a little too close.
His and Jake's was also a little bit too close for me.
Jake's wasn't. I think Jake's was better actually.
Jake's was better, but it was still a little too close, and I'm hoping that
Chris's because it was like it was kind of like claustrophobic. Even though you were on rooftops, it felt claustrophobic.
And I'm wondering if that was a design choice, which it could be. It gets a little. It makes things more hectic than they really should be. In fact, for you or for him, it was getting a little bit out of hand because of that.
Yeah.
I'm referring to Timmy.
Yeah, I think though, even playing that, even though it seemed like it was too close, I still remember bits in 5 when I hadn't pretty much memorized everything.
Yeah, where you had that.
It was worse though. It was worse. Like like the first like when you with the axe wielding guy who destroys the building.
Yeah.
I felt even worse there with that than this demo, and this is like later in the game. I think this is like halfway or something, or I might be wrong. But he's already. They show a cutscene where the origin, and then with no explanation, you go to a level where you're like, oh, okay, come on, bros, let's take out some dudes. I also don't. I'd like to know why and how zombies are shooting. That'll be interesting.
They talked a little bit about that. I think they said that they're kind of like the ganados, where they're being controlled.
Is that a food?
Yes. That's the bad guys from Resident Evil 4. Because you know how they really weren't zombies per se, but they were attacking you because they knew.
Yeah, they were being controlled.
Yeah, that's a general idea.
Jake as a martial artist, though.
Yeah, he kicks some ass.
It's like because you remember when Wesker would kick your ass in 5. It's like you're kind of doing that.
Yeah,
that's nice. I don't want to even use guns.
I'm waiting for the inevitable meetup of him and his dad.
Yeah, that's gotta happen.
That's gonna happen. And then Chris is gonna be passing by and he's gonna have a breakdown. He's like, no, I killed you. What? What's going on? I need to punch a rock.
Son of a bitch.
And then Timmy's going to pull out his Wonder Book and look up how to beat him.
He's not here to defend himself. Timmy had to walk out of the room. Demo, though, pretty much sold me. Definitely buying it. Definitely looking forward to it. I think just because of... I think Leon's thing is really what I'm most intrigued by. I even think... Even the story... I mean... no real spoiler here. In the beginning of the demo, you shoot the fucking president.
Yeah.
Like, I would like to know how he got infected. And that chick that he's with, she's new. I know she has some... I mean, they make it obvious that she has something to do with the virus or the infection or something.
Yeah, they heavily point to that.
I'm really interested in that and his entire thing. Plus, Leon as a character... he's a better character than Chris, obviously.
He's more complex.
Chris is just like, man, freaking meathead, bro. Nice in 5, but he sounds like an asshole in this one. I don't know, change of attitude. Or Sheva.
Sheva went back to the BSAA.
But they were BSAA also.
I think she was a different division of the BSAA then. I don't know.
I don't know.
Regardless.
I know a lot of people hate her. I don't hate her. It's just, I'm really... you know what? You know how I want it to end? I want them to have to go back to Raccoon City. Radiated zombies.
Maybe.
That would be pretty cool.
How do you know they aren't in the outskirts?
Yeah, I don't know.
Who knows? But yeah, that's definitely day one purchase for us. We will be playing that and posting up plenty of video for that.
Yep. Oh yeah, when that comes out, October 2nd. It tells you every time you finish a demo.
Yes, October 2nd, which is not that far away. I realize.
And I won't be here.
You're gone that week?
Yeah, I'm gone that week.
When are you leaving from?
No. Actually, no.
October
That changed.
2nd.
That changed. Yeah, I forgot. I won't have a lot of time to play it though.
Yeah.
Considering.
Yeah.
Not that weekend. It has to be that weekend.
Yeah.
So those two are coming out. I know I mentioned last time Ragnarok Odyssey was supposed to come out like 2 weeks ago, and it got pushed back to October. Although I did post a trailer, it was on the PlayStation Network of gameplay for the Vita. PlayStation Classics, the PS1 Classics, is definitely a reason to use your Vita. But it's just sitting there again. To be honest with you, unfortunately. I've been using my Superboy more than using the goddamn Vita.
We need some games, is what we need.
Yeah, that would be good. Hey, Sony,
get on that.
Seriously, if I could just like post Android games or something, I'll play Peggle again or something.
Anything.
There's not much else games wise. Nothing released. We posted some sports demos. NHL is the only one I can tell you that it's worth watching, because we take a stick to everybody, and I want to play it just because of that.
But it's okay because all of our fouls were defended by the refs. I mean the announcers. I'm sorry.
That might have been a wrong call.
That might have been a wrong call. I just punched him in the face. You're right. That is a wrong call.
Hit him in the nuts with the stick.
I just whipped him with my stick. You're right. That might have been a wrong call.
We played the soccer game. I was hoping to... Timmy's really good at that. Timmy can trip people. I kept trying. I didn't get once. You got it a couple times.
You didn't get any?
No, I didn't get it. It's too... That game is... I don't know how people would say that game is of any skill. That thing is like super scripted. Everything about that is like everything. There's little deviation. In the hockey one, you fuck up, you fuck up. And Madden, we figured out that if you keep running, you can go through a wall.
You can clip through walls and go behind the bleachers.
And then you can see the terrible flat cars.
Oh, God, those cars were pretty flat and horrible.
I'm not a sports fan, but NHL 13, I'd say if you're going to watch any of our sports demos, that'd be the one to watch.
That or go watch our NFL Blitz 2001.
2000. We haven't done the 2001 yet.
2000. We haven't done 2001? I thought we did 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Just go watch Blitz 2000 on the Dreamcast.
Yes, that'd be worth it.
Or NBA Jam.
No, we haven't done NBA Jam either.
Really?
No.
Oh, we gotta do that one next?
Yep, we gotta do that next. Which I have the original version, I have like the later version. I have most of them. Not much, like I said, not much. There's plenty of content. Marco's still burning through Star Ocean: The Second Story. He's about to get, as of this recording, he's at the Lacquer tournament, which is my favorite part of that game. I think that's the highlight's probably a good word for me. From a childhood perspective, I think that's my favorite part of that. And the idea is once he finishes the walkthrough, we'll do a classic capture for that. Because we do the same, we just did the same for Crash Bandicoot. Tim is working on Persona 4. We just started doing playthroughs for that. So if you want to watch a block of text for an hour apiece, there's 4 of those up there. He's not here to defend himself.
They did take a while, especially the Wonder Books.
Yes, well, it is a Wonder Book. Why he did not like Wonder Book? It's a Wonder TV. He goes into it.
Oh no, Wonder Book can't handle that.
So yeah, if you like Persona, I'm sorry, we don't, but Tim does, and he's the one who's doing the playthrough through that. I'm going to continue Skies of Arcadia. That game has some slowdown moments where it lags a little bit, picks up, and then comes up and down. So that's going. So there'll be some more of that pretty soon as well. There'll be playthroughs. I like the playthroughs. We've had pretty positive feedback on that. It's not the most viewed videos on our channel, but you know, some of you who didn't play these or can't afford them or don't really want to play them or don't have the means to.
Or just like watching other people play them, because that's a thing.
That's a thing. That is a thing. I try to keep them down to an hour a piece. I mean, our YouTube account would allow us to post much longer if I wanted to, but I think 1 hour segments are... Besides, I don't want to play it for too long.
They're digestible.
Yes, digestible is... It's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
Very
they're
good
digestible.
Way. Yeah, I mean, that's where that's sitting. I mean, there's content coming, especially with the releases coming up.
This is what we call the calm before the storm.
Yep.
Yeah. Things are starting to come out. Borderlands, Resident Evil, the inevitable Wii U, which we should be hearing about sometime in September now.
And the iPhone 5.
iPhone 5
which
as well.
is next week, this 12th.
Is it the 12th?
It's the 12th.
Ah.
Which, I mean, it's kind of... And probably the iPad mini, 7-inch iPad.
To compete with the Kindle Fire HD.
Oh, that'll be in... You'll be seeing a review of that hopefully soon.
Well, hey, if the iPad's better...
iPad also will be $200 more.
What if they go for a $300 price point?
Okay,
you
well,
do it?
if it's $300, alright, it's a different story.
We'll find out next week.
And then, you know, we'll see. We'll see.
You don't want to pay $15. Do you have to pay $15 to get rid of the ads?
Man.
Yeah, that's I think that's bad personally. That's pretty bad.
Other than that, from that perspective, not much else in releases. Nothing that I think is notable. Nothing that I can remember.
No, not really.
There were the Ratchet and Clank and God of War collections. I'm actually interested in the Ratchet and Clank for the HD ones, but I don't right now want to spend $40 for them. They're $39.
Yeah.
But if you never played them, that's an excellent way to go. Infamous 1, 2, and
the Blood.
Yeah, that one probably is not going to sell as well because they gave away those games, all of it, except no, they did. No, I don't know if they did the DLC,
the Vampire one,
the Vampire one, but the other two they gave those for free.
Yeah.
The Infamous one was the Welcome Back program.
Yeah.
And Infamous 2 was and I think it is, or might not be at this point, but it was PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
For free. So.
I don't think it'll sell as much, but they might just be you doing it in clear backstock.
No, these are new press discs.
Are they?
Yeah, they come brand new. It's brand new case and everything.
And then they're only losing out on the on the publishing, on the manufacturer and distribution,
pretty much.
So that's I'm sure that's a little bit,
and some of the art is pretty much it.
That's about it.
I like the art. The art in the cases are nice.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
I know we can't just keep saying, but there's not much. Most of the collecting has been retro. I've actually been building up my Sega Genesis library. As of late, I've actually got a couple nice gems that I got for real cheap. One of them is Barney for the Sega Genesis.
Yeah,
that's excited for that.
Yes.
No, I've actually got some decent ones. We're gonna do some captures for pretty soon. But I spent 4 hours playing Monopoly on the Sega Genesis last night. Because it came free with an eBay lot, and I was like, after I cleaned it, because man, some of them were filthy. I mean, I buy off of eBay enough, but man, and I left it in I'm usually good about leaving good feedback, even if there's some slight mistakes or something. But this thing was filthy. I went a couple different sets of paper towels to clean up all the gunk on it, and we used Q-tips for some of the initial cleaning. I went through like 8 to get it just to look semi-decent. So, but it works. So I couldn't fault them for that. It was thrown in. That's not the jam I'm talking about. Some of them. I'm not going to mention them all by name, but I've had some luck with that lately. I mean, my Super Nintendo collection at this point is, it's something else. PlayStation 1 is still the biggest. And you'll notice that most of our classic captures are PS1. Probably because that's my most fond. I still say the Dreamcast is my favorite console, but most of the games that I remember on the PS... Well, most of the ones that I'd want to do captures for are on the PS1. And as a Dreamcast, we've done most of the ones I'd want to do, I think.
PS1 just had a larger install base.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was also around longer. So the Sega Saturn is probably the hardest thing to collect for because, man, those games, they're overpriced. I mean, it did Cyberbots... recently for the region lock, but getting new stuff for that doesn't cost an arm and leg is pretty much near impossible unless you get real crappy pinball games and they don't have the cases and the cases are broken and stuff like that. I don't know. There's not much more to say about that. It's been a collector's thing. No real new events. Just Cause multiplayer beta went on this weekend, and got to work on cutting that footage to show some of the stuff. We got Tim on it finally, so we tried some triple tethering, which unfortunately didn't work as well as I hoped, but produced some interesting results.
We got to try getting you in a helicopter, me in a car, Timmy in a car.
Or Timmy in a boat.
We got to get some more footage tomorrow.
Yeah, got to get more. Yeah, that one's going to take a while to cut together. You got the 4 videos before this, because this will be uploaded last, of 2 region lock, 2 classic capture, played virtual on Mars. Terrible game, I'll tell you now, but you get to see it for yourself. And Crash Bandicoot Warp, which I said, with the playthrough. I'm kind of repeating myself here.
Because there's nothing out.
Yeah, there's nothing out. Not much in the way of events. You talked about going to MorphCon last podcast, right?
Yeah, that was last podcast.
That was.
We talked about that already.
If you're in LA, the Pomona County Fair is going on right now. Weather's crazy. Democratic National Convention was on. Bill Clinton's speech was fucking epic. I don't care what your position is. Bill Clinton's speech was pretty awesome. I'm glad I sat through that. I know we're not going to get political here. Just that was great. Really, really. Man, just talking about tearing into it and funny, and that man. I think I was telling my mom the other day because she hadn't watched it, and I go, the thing about that speech was, I think the man is no longer president, and he doesn't have any power. He's been sitting and thinking about these things as they happen, and all he did was just unleash every thought he's had.
Collectively, since he was president.
Yeah, all at once. And he had nothing to lose. Has nothing to lose, what are they going to do? Just, well, you're being an asshole calling people out on, facts.
Yeah.
If it, that's what I thought it was, and it was genuine, it was sincere, and the man knows how to speak, so he put it all in a very nice He only had like 1 or 2 moments where it was like, it was like, man, like a little bit of little issues, but nothing where you go, man, that speech will be remembered, I think, to some degree. I mean, it's not John F. Kennedy's moon speech, or John F. Kennedy's kneel speech.
Yes, the kneel.
The kneel.
Nice kneel we have tonight.
It's very kneel. It's a full kneel. That's what's taking up most of the headlines in the world. PlayStation Vita has a homebrew hack now, but they're saying that you can't pirate the digital games on it. With it, the hack is just...
That'll eventually happen. Are you kidding?
No, I'm saying, well, for now. Anyway.
Yeah. That'll get taken care of real quick.
Steam released their Greenlight for Greenlight program to bring up indie games that could be sold on Steam.
And Reddit is abusing the shit out of it.
Yeah. And a lot of people were people were posting a lot of shit, or posting things that weren't real, or posting things called Half-Life 3 and stuff like that, posting porn games. And I think what was a brilliant marketing thing was to, first of all, charge you to $100 to submit, so that cuts in submissions immediately, and then give it to Child's Play. That all goes to Child's Play. They don't take it as profit.
Yep.
That was brilliant. You couldn't have played it better. And I think that's had an immediate effect. I know some of the developers, like some guy who did a like a wannabe retro game that was real punishing, was bitching about it, and they're like, well,
if you want to make it in, $100 is not a big investment.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Really, and it's not like they're getting the money. It's not like Steam is keeping it; they're donating it, and more importantly, it's an entrance fee. It's a fee to say, are you really submitting a game? And do you have the funds to back it up? $100 is something, if you're trying to make a game for a living and you don't have $100 to your name, there's a problem there. If you can't get $100 to your name somehow,
you should be able to get it somehow, definitely.
Yeah.
And fully support that. I think that was brilliant. And all the people who are bitching about having to pay the $100, you obviously don't understand how, how games work, game development works, because certification on a console, 10,000 easy. That's like the lowest fee I've ever heard of for like the PS3 or Xbox. Steam has always been lower, and that's a global platform. And yeah, how much better does it get than that? So that's been good. They've released their community features, which we don't play enough games or know enough people that really use that kind of stuff. So it's kind of useless to us, but that's good for especially your Team Fortress people out there. Or Counter-Strike now, Source. I'm surprised we didn't get flack for that. Yeah, you're right, go. I'm surprised we didn't get flack for that for the last show. I was expecting comments. Yeah, there's not much else. There's not much else out there. Not much else going on, at least for now. Borderlands coming out pretty soon is really just going to be the crest of the wave, and new releases will start coming out. News will be coming out. iPhone 5 news. If you're an Apple fan, that's probably great for you, or an iPhone fan. You mentioned that it's supposed to have LTE.
It looks like it should possibly have LTE.
So that'll maybe mean multi-carrier right off the bat. I use Sprint. I like my unlimited minutes and data. I would not own a smartphone if I had a data limit. I would literally just not go with the carrier anymore if that happened. I would either find another one, or I would just switch to a flip and like a just regular phone and use some kind of tablet device for Wi-Fi, because I don't really need a phone that does all that kind of stuff. A phone is a phone, if it really comes down to it. 2 gigabytes in this day and age, who do they think they're fucking kidding? That's the standard. And like Verizon's 2, AT&T's 2,
something like that.
And it's like the same price I'm paying for unlimited. Although I will say, if the iPhone 5 does not have a larger screen, if it doesn't really change up the hardware, if it doesn't come close to the high-end Android devices like the Evo LTE, that's the next option. Actually, that's the first option. The iPhone 5 is kind of assuming it comes to Sprint too. But if the iPhone 5 doesn't, if it doesn't really wow and amaze, Evo LTE in October for me. That's the way to go, because that's when I get my renewal. And, Tim got lucky because his Evo 3D got ice cream sandwich. Amazon Kindle HD was released. Unfortunately, blows the Google Nexus 7 tablet out of the water.
I would disagree.
To some extent, yes, it does.
No speedometer, no gyro, no GPS. Doesn't have the Play Store. Has ads. It's got a better battery life by an hour.
I like Amazon's offering, but I think for the average consumer, because the 7 tablet is very it's a very hardcore word. The Amazon tablet's definitely more. It's friendlier to I would say to
everyday
novices.
Joe Schmo.
Yeah, I guess you're right. There's it has 2 things. So I don't know.
iPad Mini will be interesting to see,
or
whatever they come out with.
If it's $300 and it's, who am I kidding? It won't be 16 gig. It'll be 8 gig.
Even if it's 8 gig, that they're known for at least putting in, you'll get the aluminum, you'll get the glass, and you'll get a fast tablet.
A4 chip.
It'll have an A4 chip. It'll be quick. Even if it doesn't have data, you don't need data. Just Wi-Fi. You're here most of the time.
I would. I've said before, I would use a tablet as a phone if it would work like a phone. And it doesn't necessarily. Well, No, I mean it should have a speaker on it, but yeah, or a microphone on it. But I would use a Bluetooth exclusively with it. Just keep them both around and use it as a phone. There's absolutely reason not to. They're small, small enough now. 7-inch tablet. It's good enough to keep around. I'd rather have that over. I mean, my phone. I mean, the Evo is going to be what? It's 4.7 inches. What's a 7-inch tablet? I mean, I can't put it in my pocket. I would just carry it with me. I do that a lot of the time anyway. You know, I know a lot of people in their pocket. It for me, it would work. If they could do it as an option, that would work for me. But I don't see that happening. So the data thing is kind of completely useless to me. I'm not going to pay data on a device that is only for recreational use and doesn't have the primary function of being a phone. And Tim might argue that it does Skype. That's not a phone.
No.
Well, for that, my Vita has Skype. I could do that. So, I don't know. Not much else to say. Some announcements coming out soon. Plenty of video content coming out. We're well over the 1 million mark. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Well, thank you all for listening and watching and commenting, even if it's not always positive.
Hey, you got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah. And, you know, there's plenty more coming. I should mention, we did start a new series. I call it Demo Series. We just basically take demo discs, retro demo discs from the past, and I like to say archive it as a video format. We'll do a little commentary in the beginning mostly. I mentioned some of this in the video, but I really want to mention it. It's really for purposes of seeing what this promotional footage was for, because a lot of the games that, especially imports that were never released in America, were introduced through, like, say, the PlayStation Underground disc. Remote Control Dandy would be one of them. Ore no Ryori. Yeah, I said that pretty good. Those are two that we really wanted to play that never came here to the States, and unfortunately it took, 15, 20 years after, but, we eventually got them, and we've done video, and, it's, they hold up, and they're, from a childhood perspective, they are as good as we remember them, if not better. And some of these, just like the first one we have, has an interview with young Dave Jaffe, who's a creator of Twisted Metal, and man, that was something else. And they got all that real early '90s synth electric guitar, and it's like or the in your face announcer guy, it reminded me of Ninja Turtles 2, fucking Ice-T. I don't know. It's like it's all relative, that kind of thing. I don't know. Alright, everyone. Well, I know this one's a shorter one than usual. Not a lot going on. We've pretty much talked ourselves out, and we did a bunch of videos, and Just Cause multiplayer has really been the thing this weekend. We'll have another one up soon, and by that time, hopefully Borderlands talk.
Yeah, it should be Borderlands talk. Because this coming weekend is the weekend where we might be able to pick it up.
Yeah, might be. So
yeah.
We'll see how that goes. More video coming out, and yeah, that's a bit. Sorry about Tim. He had to step away for the rest of the show. So yeah, that'll be it. Please subscribe and let us know what you think. Thank you.